Want to explore massive worlds, take on epic quests, or just roam freely at your own pace? Xbox Game Pass has some incredible open world games waiting for you. Let's dive into the best ones you can play right now. Riders Republic is an adrenaline-packed game that lets you race, perform tricks, and explore a vast open world using bikes, snowboards, skis, and wingsuits. The stunning environment is filled with thrilling challenges, ensuring endless excitement. One of its standout features is the chaotic yet exhilarating 64-player multiplayer races, where fast-paced action keeps you on the edge. The gameplay is easy to pick up, always engaging and full of energy. While some events could be more polished and occasional glitches appear, the overall experience is incredibly fun. Microtransactions exist, but are purely cosmetic, meaning no pay-to-win mechanics. If you're after a fast, thrilling sports game on Game Pass, Riders Republic is a fantastic choice. Avowed is a first-person action RPG set in the world of Pillars of Eternity. You play as an envoy from Ada, sent to the Living Lands to investigate a mysterious plague. As you explore, you'll uncover an ancient secret that threatens the island and your own fate. Can you save both? The Living Lands is a diverse, eerie world filled with unique environments that feel both unfamiliar and strangely inviting. Combat offers a mix of swords, spells, guns, and shields. Freeze, trap, or burn enemies with magic, strike with a shield, or attack from afar with a bow. You'll also have companions with special abilities, including a former mercenary and an eccentric wizard. Your choices will shape their stories and quests. Watch Dogs: Legion is one of the most creative open-world games, offering a unique twist. You can play as anyone. Each character has different skills, making every mission feel fresh and unpredictable. Set in a futuristic London, you join a hacker group fighting against a high-tech dictatorship. The villains are engaging, but most of your allies are forgettable, except for Bagley, the witty AI who constantly cracks jokes. Missions can be tackled in multiple ways, from hacking and stealth to all-out combat. For added challenge, permadeath mode means lost characters stay gone, though recruiting replacements is easy. While some features from past Watch Dogs games are missing, it remains a fun, innovative experience for fans of hacking and action. Stalker 2 is a survival horror first-person shooter set in the treacherous world of The Zone, where radiation, mutants, and harsh survival mechanics push you to your limits. Blending horror with FPS action, the game features a non-limit story where your choices shape the outcome, leading to multiple endings. Managing hunger, sleep, bleeding, and radiation adds tension, while the dynamic weather and day-night cycle keep every moment unpredictable. Visually, the game is breathtaking, using advanced photogrammetry for realistic environments. It also supports mods, allowing customization. Assassin's Creed Valhalla is a thrilling open-world adventure where you play as Eivor, a Viking seeking revenge and power. The game's world is stunning, from Norway's icy peaks to England's lush countryside, with dynamic weather that makes it feel alive. You'll experience Viking life through monastery raids, castle sieges, and the growth of your own settlement. Combat is intense and satisfying, though early progression can feel slow. As you unlock better abilities, battles become far more engaging. Settlement building adds depth, but it eventually feels more like a stat boost than a meaningful feature. While Valhalla leans into RPG mechanics, it still retains some classic Assassin's Creed stealth. Mafia: A Definitive Edition is a stunning remake of the 2002 classic, set in the Prohibition era of 1930s. You play as Tommy Angelo, a taxi driver drawn into the Salieri crime family, experiencing a gripping story brought to life with improved visuals and excellent lighting. The voice acting, especially for Tommy, adds depth to the narrative. Gameplay stays true to the original but includes a classic mode for veterans and enhanced driving mechanics. Dead Island 2 is all about fast-paced, over-the-top zombie slaying. Combat feels smooth and satisfying, with slow-motion attacks that make every hit impactful. You can customize your character with skill cards, though some feel more useful than others. Side missions help keep the gameplay fresh and varied. Visually, the game strikes a balance between realism and a stylized cartoon look. The zombie details are impressive, and the gore system makes every weapon feel unique, showing different types of damage in gruesome detail. The story is silly but entertaining, adding to the game's fun tone. While not perfect, Dead Island 2 delivers exciting gameplay, solid combat mechanics, and fantastic visuals, making it a great choice for zombie action fans. No Man's Sky is a massive RPG set in a limitless universe, offering endless exploration of unique planets and creatures. You can engage in space battles, fishing, cooking, and base building with seamless travel between planets and space. No loading screens. Late game content is rewarding, but progression has balance issues, with too many rewards early on and some repetitive elements. The space anomaly speeds up access to late game content, affecting the sense of progression, while permadeath mode limits expeditions. Combat movement and base building could use improvements. The Outer Worlds is a first-person RPG where you awaken from cryosleep to find a colony controlled by ruthless corporations. Your choices shape the story, fight the system, or become part of it. The game blends retrofuturistic aesthetics with flexible combat, allowing you to shoot, sneak, or use bizarre science weapons like shrinking enemies or making them turn against each other. The story is packed with sharp, dark humor and quirky side quests, from toothpaste experiments to labor strikes. Your companions, including the kind-hearted Parvati, energetic Felix, and cynical Vicar Max, bring depth to the adventure. While the level cap is 36 and exploration is more limited than Fallout, The Outer Worlds offers a fantastic mix of storytelling, humor, and engaging gameplay. Middle-earth: Shadow of War builds on its predecessor with more action, larger battles, and an expanded nemesis system that makes every enemy captain unique, each with their own personality and weaknesses. Combat is fast and satisfying, featuring new abilities like a double jump and powerful attacks. The story is thrilling but takes liberties with Lord of the Rings lore, and some dialogue can feel awkward. However, epic battles against foes like the Nazgul and massive creatures like Balrogs make up for it. Fortress sieges, where you lead armies into large-scale fights, add depth and replayability. While microtransactions exist, they don't ruin the experience, and the game is fully enjoyable without them. If you love action-packed open-world games, Shadow of War is a must-play. Ghostwire. Tokyo transports you to a haunting version of Shibuya, where a mysterious fog has made the population vanish. The game beautifully recreates the city, from neon-lit streets to hidden back alleys, making it a treat for anyone fascinated by Japanese culture and folklore. While the world is immersive, the combat can feel repetitive. You use elemental attacks like fire and wind, which are fun at first, but many players end up relying on the same few strategies like sneaking or spamming fire-based attacks. Missions also tend to follow similar patterns, which can make the gameplay feel predictable over time. The story centers on Akito and Kake, two characters with personal stakes in the supernatural crisis. Their dynamic is interesting, but the game doesn't fully explore their relationship or the villain's motivations. Star Wars Jedi Survivor builds on everything the Fallen Order did well and makes it even better. The worlds are larger, the combat is smoother, and character customization has been expanded. You get 5 different lightsaber styles, new force powers, and massive maps packed with secrets. The story follows Cal Kestis as he tries to find his place beyond just fighting the Empire. While the plot isn't full of surprises, the emotional depth and character development make it engaging. Combat feels fluid, exploration is rewarding, and the puzzles add a nice challenge. The main downside is performance issues, with frame drops and occasional stuttering. South Park. The fractured but whole shifts from fantasy to superheroes following the Stick of Truth. You play as the new kid, joining Cartman's team, Coon and friends, to fight villains in classic South Park style. The humor is still crude but less shocking than before. Combat is now grid-based, adding strategy but slowing fights. You can mix superhero abilities, and instead of gear stats, artifacts boost a bit. The world is bigger and more interactive. Though Canada is missing, the game looks and sounds just like the show. While similar to the Stick of Truth, the improved combat and customization add depth. Battles can be slow, but the strategy and humor keep it engaging. If you love action, big open worlds and a strong villain, Far Cry 6 is worth checking out. You play as Dani Rojas, a rebel fighting against the ruthless dictator Anton Castillo, played by Giancarlo Esposito. The game is packed with intense gunfights, stealth missions and massive explosions. New resolver weapons add homemade firepower, and you can customize your gear to suit different playstyles. Enemies are smarter, making combat more exciting. Plus, you can team up with a friend in co-op mode. The island of Yara is stunning, with jungles, cities and beaches that make exploration feel immersive. The story is engaging but sticks to familiar Far Cry themes like betrayals and big twists. If you want a fast and exciting shooter, Rage 2 is a solid pick. It takes inspiration from Doom, delivering high-speed combat with powerful weapons and fun abilities like Shatter and Overdrive. The action feels great with aggressive enemies and upgrades that make fights even more intense. However, the game has some weak points. The open world feels empty, and the missions start to feel repetitive since most of them involve clearing out enemies. The story isn't very engaging and the characters are forgettable. Plus, the upgrade menus can feel a bit overwhelming at times. Despite these issues, Rage 2 is still a great choice if you love fast-paced combat and chaotic gunfights. Dragon Age Inquisition is a great choice for fans of big fantasy worlds and adventure. You play as the Inquisitor, leading a rebellion that grows into a powerful army. Your choices shape the world, making decisions feel important. The massive world is full of meaningful quests, hidden treasures, and stunning locations. Unlike some open-world games, everything has a purpose. Combat blends strategy and action, letting you pause to plan or jump in directly. The characters have deep stories, and your choices affect relationships. While the main story and villain aren't the strongest, the game's rich world and choices make up for it. Immortals Fenyx Rising is a fantastic open-world adventure set in a world inspired by Greek mythology. You play as Fenyx, a hero on a quest to save the gods. The game features stunning landscapes, mythical creatures, and ancient temples to explore. Combat is fun and rewarding, with Fenyx gaining powerful abilities from the gods. Battles against enemies and giant bosses stay exciting throughout. The humor adds charm, with Zeus and Prometheus joking as you progress. However, the puzzles can feel repetitive and lack creativity. Ashen is an open-world action RPG where you play as a traveler looking for a home in a beautiful but dangerous world. As you explore, you meet random players. You can team up, invite them, or move on, making the adventure feel natural. Combat is based on stamina, similar to Dark Souls but with its own style. Every fight matters. The world changes as you play, so no two journeys feel the same. You also build a hub where NPCs live, adding a sense of community. Co-op is a big part of the game. Working together helps in puzzles and dungeons. Some bosses are easier than expected, but the art, exploration, and teamwork make Ashen worth playing. Expeditions. A Mudrunner game is an off-road adventure focused on exploration rather than just moving cargo. You'll drive through rough landscapes like Colorado and Arizona, completing tasks like carrying equipment and finding fossils. The game is slow and requires patience, but overcoming challenges feels rewarding. Some missions feel repetitive and the map and instructions can be unclear. There is no co-op mode yet, so it's a solo experience for now. New features like crew members and tools such as ground anchors make driving easier. If you enjoy slow, challenging exploration in big open areas, this is a great pick. It's not a replacement for SnowRunner, but it's still a solid off-road game. That's it for the best open world games on Xbox Game Pass. Which one are you playing next? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.